Welcome. We're here to take a quick glance at March 2023. What a month we have. Oh my goodness. This is the month of the year, I swear. There is so much happening. Of course, the sun moves signs and the moon moves around to all 12 signs, but we also have Mercury moving twice to different signs. We have Mars moving, we have Venus moving, we have Saturn moving, we have Pluto moving, we have a new moon, we have a full moon. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. So we'll go through the numerology very quickly. We'll spend a little bit of time on the astrology of the month, and then we will go to the cards. Okay. So we start with March. March is the third month, so it holds the three energy. So under the three energies, we have a love for life. It's about our self-expression and bringing it out and bringing it alive, about transforming our life in some way through self-expression and creativity, giving birth to something, creating something, inventing something. It could be about traveling. Absolutely. Now we take that and we add it to the year. Okay, so 2023, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is a 7 energy, and that's standing in your truth, and we've talked about that, so I'm not going to go into a lot of that. Go in the past videos if you want to hear about the 7 energy in a little bit more detail than that, but really standing in our truth, okay? When we are trying to create our best life ever. Of course, we are going to run into experiences, daily experiences, about where we need to compromise, where we need to draw the line, where we need to pull back. And so we must stand in our truth through these compromises because we are trying to create harmony and beauty in our life under the 7 energy. We're trying to grow those relationships under the 7 energy. So 3 plus 7 is a 10 energy. Now, 10 is a lucky number. The 10 energy also talks towards new seasons, new chapters, new energy coming into our life. It also marks kind of like the beginnings, the starts. And we have that weaved in throughout all of the astrology. So we start the astrology on March the 2nd. We have Mercury, and Mercury will enter Pisces. So that brings out our creativity, our intuition. It almost seems like there's a little bit of magic happening. Okay, definitely. We're talking, we're thinking, we're researching, we're learning, we're teaching about spiritual things. And it's our imagination and growing our imagination, allowing our thoughts. Okay, our dreams become more vivid. Our thoughts open up, take off the blinders. And our instincts, our intuition is especially strong. Okay, we can find solutions in places that we never even considered looking before. So fresh ideas come in, creative inspirations come in, a different way of thinking can come into parts of our life. Absolutely. And miscommunication and miscommunication is probably something that will happen because our words are lofty, our thoughts are lofty. We could forget critical things, okay? We could show up late for the meeting or completely forget about the meeting, say things that don't quite make sense. So take things that you are communicating and people are trying to communicate you with a little bit of a stride. Okay, and the greatest thing about this energy is that we are not focusing on the things that we cannot do. We're focusing on the things that we can do. Now, on March the 7th, Saturn enters Pisces. It's been in Uranus for 3 years, and now it moves into Pisces. So you would think that this is kind of, Pisces is kind of like the dreamland, and Saturn is the ruler, the authority, the making the commitments, keeping up to our obligations, making the plans, strategizing. And Pisces is dreamland. So what it does, and we got a glimpse of it at the new moon in February, where Saturn was conjunct with the sun and moon in that new moon. but it was still in Aquarius, so it kind of gave a little bit of a different energy. But it moves in, and what it's going to do, it's going to take our dreams and say, okay, let's do it. So we'll be able to take our dreams. Usually under this energy, we just take our dreams and we grow our dreams. We write it down in journals. We build a strategy, but a lot of it falls off, right? Because it doesn't have that Saturn energy. Now we have that Saturn energy, and it's going to be there for the next 3 years to make our dreams real, tangible, and transform them into our reality. So this is really a time when we will lay the groundwork for manifesting our highest purposes. So really look at what your best life ever looks like and start building the strategy for that. Also on March the 7th, we have the full moon in Virgo. Now this is like the fourth. I'll have to look because I should have been keeping track of this for you. But at 16 degrees, and we know that 16 degrees is all about awakenings. Okay, it'll be a full moon in Virgo, so we'll become a little bit more practical. We'll be all about the organization. We'll be patient. Okay, so this is the time when we get rid of the clutter. And this is a time when we could truly get lost in our thoughts and find ourselves dreaming of the future. And, it's going to show us in some way how we can make these fantasies a reality. Full moon in Virgo is all about getting rid of the clutter, understanding what has value, what doesn't have value. On March the 12th, we will have Jupiter conjunct Chiron, which happens once a year. Okay, and it's a great time. It's a beautiful time. Okay, when we can focus on our unconscious beliefs that may have caused trouble in the past or may cause trouble going forward. So we can work on deep healing. And chances are we'll look towards our spirituality, our philosophy, in order to bring in that healing in our lives. We could come in contact with people from a foreign land, foreign tongue, different kinds of backgrounds, and that will actually help us with our healing process and understand ourselves a little bit better through their eyes. On March the 16th, we have Venus entering Taurus. So this is a very sensual, romantic time. And we're reminded during this time of just how beautiful the world is. I mean, I always say when the moon is in Taurus, it's time to stop and smell the roses. But not with Venus, we're not only inhaling their fragrance, but we're also seeing it. We're embracing it. So we see how beautiful the world can be. It's a perfect time to bring in love, money issues, bring that out into the open and deal with it directly. You'll find it really goes with the flow, and you can capitalize on this energy to put your finances in order, to maybe put a relationship back together again. March 19th, Mercury now moves into Aries. So a very short time in Pisces, and now it's into Aries, and boy, oh boy. This is a time when our ideas have passion attached to them. Okay, we become more restless, we become more impatient, we won't stand still, we're not going to replay that tape over and over ahead in our minds. We want to charge ahead, and we want to move on to the next thing. Okay, so Mercury in Aries gives us that encouragement we need to say exactly what we think and feel. Sometimes we hold it back, and it stagnates us, it pulls us back. So this is a time when we can say what we really need to say and think and feel the way we want to think and feel, not what we're being told to. We'll have flashes of insight, those aha moments, those epiphanies. Fresh solutions can come into problems that have been hanging over your head forever and a day. And don't second guess yourself under this energy, okay? Follow your intuition very strongly, okay? Your first thought is probably the best thought. On March 20th, the sun moves into Aries, and that begins the brand new astrological year. Okay, it's a very bold, exciting, spontaneous time in our lives. And it's a beautiful time. It's probably the most perfect time for new beginnings, new starts, to reinvent ourselves. Um, it'll be about letting go of the past. Okay, we've come through Pisces and letting go of that past and now looking forward. And Aries isn't here to make us feel comfortable. It's to push us out of our comfort zones. It's to be the pioneer, the trailblazer in our lives for us. So we could find that we are breaking old habits, patterns, and we are on the way to discovering beautiful new paths, new worlds. On March the 21st, we have the new moon at Aries, and guess what? It's not at 1 degrees. It didn't make it quite to 1 degrees. It's at like 0 degrees and 48 minutes or something. Like it's almost at 1 degree, so it just comes in and meets instantly with the sun. So talk about this bold, fiery energy coming alive. It's just like a burst of energy. So there is no better time. There is no better time to put a new strategy, a new plan, a new behavior, a new habit into motion. So this is a time to really think about what you want to explore in life, what you want to do in life, what seeds you want to plant in life, how you want to go forward. On March the 23rd, Pluto will enter Aquarius. Now, just for a very short time. I think Pluto is like in a sign for like 20 years or something crazy like that, okay? But it's just going to move in for, I think it's like 3 months. And then it'll move back out, okay? Back into Capricorn, finish off the Capricorn stuff. And so some of that stuff that you thought you were over, it's still going to come up one more time for you. So that you can work through things, you can finish some chapters, so you can start new beginnings as Pluto enters Aquarius. It's almost like we get this little trailer of what the energy is going to be like when Pluto, pardon me, Pluto enters Aquarius. I knew I needed a drink. I felt that little cough coming on. My apologies. Pluto in Aquarius is all about the sciences. It'll be a science revolution, absolutely. It's also, Pluto is the planet of secrets, so we are unearthing secrets. Death and rebirth. Okay, the mystic, the powerful. I mean, Pluto is, it's do or die kind of energy. So when we get passions, when we get desires, when we get dreams of wanting to move forward, and Pluto's there, okay, and I think under this kind of energy, things that, especially on March 25th, I think Mars it's the last thing. Mars will move into Cancer as well. And so between those two energies, I mean, if we are not committed to something, we don't have passion about something, we don't love something, we don't want to embrace something, we will have no motivation to move in that direction whatsoever. Okay, March 25th, Mars will move into Cancer. And really, Mars and Cancer, if there is a home improvement project that you want to do, this is the month to get out the hammer and the nails and start going at it. Finish it or start it or whatever. Finish and start a home improvement project of some kind. It's about glorifying the home, the family. It's also about building security and safety in our lives. You might find that you have these intense protective instincts that take over at times when you weren't expecting them, or you're feeling stronger about protecting a family member or a loved one. Okay? And rather than taking any kind of direct approach, when Mars is in Cancer, we kind of take a more passive approach to what we want to do. So, but if we don't feel emotionally connected to something, it's very unlikely that we'll take any action whatsoever. So let's go to the cards now after all of that. And see what they have to tell us. So our shadow card for the month is the Eight of Swords. Our perceptions change. And how can they not, with everything moving, everything shifting in the sky? Bringing us a whole new basket, a train full, a ship full of new experiences, new energy, new focuses, new directions. And so, of course, our perceptions will change during this time. Something that we thought we couldn't do, we can do. We see the way. We get the clarity. We get the knowledge. We get the understanding. So maybe you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, I just can't possibly move in that direction. I've tried. It doesn't work. With this kind of energy, it will work. Okay, so we have some very highlighted parts in the sky throughout the month of March. But I would have to tell you that we need to concentrate on that 3 energy and really find the beauty in life. Okay, it's really a brand new, it's the start of a brand new adventure for us, really. All the planets are getting smushed up there, and Aries is just igniting on fire as it starts. Remember, Jupiter is already there hosting the party for us, for the expansion, for the abundance. So it's a beautiful time to reinvent yourself or different aspects of your path forward, of your life. And maybe you think that you're at a halt and you can't do the things that you want to do or go in the direction you want to go. But this card is here to tell you that throughout the month, your perceptions will change, your understandings will change, your knowledge, your clarity will get stronger. And follow that gut. And whatever that first answer is, go with it. Because that's the kind of energy that surrounds us during the month. Our first card is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is not even, knowing our talents and our abilities and how we can go forward using our talents and abilities and how we can master them. But we are expecting so much more out of ourselves. We're raising the bar on ourselves. We're raising the challenge. And we're getting excited about this challenge that we're giving ourselves. In this card, we are looking at our fine work. We are admiring it. We see the greatness we have and how we can bring it out and bring it alive. So now we are making a firm commitment to ourselves, to raise the bar on ourselves, to give more of ourselves within our talents, within our abilities, within our relationships. We have the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords says you're not going to find the information you need to make decisions in your life by asking outwardly. We wear a blindfold in this card, which means we have to look within. We have to ask ourselves the tough questions. We have to stand in our truth because it is a 2023. It's a 7 energy year. So we have to stand in our truth. And some of our decisions might be very emotional, very hard to make. We may seek outside sources so that we don't have to listen to the inner answers that we've received because we really don't want to act in that way. We know it's for the best. So there's a lot of turmoil that can be behind some of these decisions that we have to make for the month of March. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very grounded energy. The Hierophant is also bringing in joy, bringing in happiness, bringing in happiness, laughter, giggles. And how do we do that? By slowing down a little bit. By sitting for a few moments in silence and just contemplating things. Or meditating. Or praying. Or taking a walk in nature. Reconnecting ourselves in some way. To our spirituality, to ourselves, to the earth. And take some time out to reflect, take some time out to think, take some time out to pray, to ask God, our angels, our guides, the universe, that divine energy that surrounds us all, to help us, to move us forward. And how do we do it? And download the information when it comes in. Yes, you can do that. We have the Chariot. The Chariot is about pulling it back. The Chariot is about thinking it through. The Chariot says you just don't want to jump into anything. Now, remember, Aries energy, it's a very fiery energy. It's a very, trailblazing kind of energy. We want to throw our sword in the sky and yell charge. We want to face those challenges because we know on the other side of those challenges, there is success to be had. And we are excited and full of passion about those things. This card is reminding us not to move as quickly as we want to. That we have to slow it down, that we have to think and prepare ourselves for each and every step. Because we only want to take that step once and then take a new step after that. And we have the King of Pentacles. Well, if there was ever a king that had a lot of abundance, I mean, he's very close to the emperors and the empresses in his kingdoms and the wealth of his kingdoms. His coin there is so big he has to straddle it between his legs. He can't fit it in his pocket. There is no pocket that big. Now, he is very much traditional. So you think, well, he doesn't take risks, but he does take risks. But they are educated risks. Now, here he has a living vine for a crown. So that tells you that, yes, we have to think things through, but we also have to grow our thoughts. Now, Mercury going into Aries is going to do that for us, absolutely. Even Mercury in Pisces expands our mind. In fact, Mercury in Pisces probably expands our minds more than the Aries. So it's about thinking it through, understanding how we can create wealth in our life or create abundance in our life. This could also be love, absolutely. But chances are it's about grounding us in our experiences and enriching our lives with abundance. Okay, now I have the deck, Nature's Whispers, that I used for the February monthlies. And I thought, well, we're doing the month, so we'll bring this deck out. And we'll see. We have Inner Truth, 16. So our full moon is at 16 degrees, and look what we have here. The inner truths of going within, of understanding yourself. We're going to look in the book and just see what they have to say, but it should be a short write-up. I'll hold the card up so that you can meditate on it. There's a lot of depth to your feelings. You're on your way to understanding your feelings and desires more clearly. The next steps on your path will soon reveal themselves. Stay vigilant to new opportunities that may lead to the beginnings of novel projects or assist with current ventures. Look around you and within you. Be willing to do the work at the deepest level, as you will find jewels of wisdom, knowledge, and the inner voice, all waiting patiently to assist you. Nature's crystals are created deep within the earth. Go deep and find your own treasures. Go deep and find your own treasures. So we were told to look within the cards. We were also told that our perceptions will change. And as we dig deep and get to know ourselves a little bit better each and every day, we uncover the truths. We uncover the aha moments. We uncover the epiphanies to how we can move forward. Of course, a reading wouldn't be a reading without our animal cards. And of course, I will end with the Journey of Love card. And that deck I usually only use for full moons and new moons. But every so often we pull it out. And I think this is one of those times. Now I also put out, I know we're talking about March, but for the full month of February, I put out a gratitude video each and every day. If you want the quick access for them, just go to my YouTube page, and there is a section there for all the gratitude videos. If you decided to watch them beginning to end, it would only take you a half an hour. They were short, they were sweet, and they were meant to be played at any time of the day, really, but I put them up early in the morning so you could start your day with a moment of gratitude and start creating that joy, that happiness, that sense of wonder from the very first moment you open your eyes. So that's available for you. Now our animal is the white stag, the protector. Okay, bring it clear, please. Thank you. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. So we have the white stag here as our protector. So your best friend is nature. So we were talking about with the King of Pentacles that you wanted to ground yourself, okay? In nature would be beautiful. The three energy is about grounding ourselves within nature as well. Bring it clear, please. Thank you. And your intuition. We talked about your intuition several times. That your first thought, your first answer is probably the correct way to go. And so trust yourself, trust your intuition. Awaken to the powerful force within you. Okay, and I think Pluto will do that. Saturn will do that too. And Saturn being in Pisces, we will awaken to that powerful force within us. That spiritual, beautiful, creative energy. That magic that we all have inside of us. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. And we'll get a Journey of Love card. Intimacy, 35. So that's an 8 energy. That's definitely an abundance energy. And I'll hold that card up. I can't do this deck any justice. I've owned it for a long time now. And I will read directly out of the book because I can't top what they've given you. This one, the poem's a little longer, but the write-up is pretty short. So, intimacy. Becoming one. Allowing all that is, both within and without, to blend. Like a wave meeting the shore. Each aspect of who we are is a part of a grander whole. And in truth, yet greater still. To know myself is to know you. Whether I look in your eyes, or touch lips, or hold hands, or bathe in the warmth of your embrace. Your vulnerability is the key to your growing spiritually. Now is the time for you to share yourself openly, without pretense or defensiveness. Let down the barriers that have held you apart from another, from the divine, from the world, and let yourself be held by the experiences of your life, without needing to defend against them. Expect nothing and be open to receive everything. Your vulnerability is your way forward now. You are learning that you've had enough strength to truly surrender. You are brave enough to allow yourself to be truly lived by the divine. The message of this oracle is that you have recently opened yourself up to new ways to meet the world and your loved ones, or are considering doing so in order to share something of yourself with another. Do it. You are ready to be seen and received more than ever before. You're ready to be seen. Once again, first card out of the deck was your perceptions and how they will change. So where you didn't think you measured up or were good enough, strong enough, capable enough, you come to believe that is exactly who you are. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.